Pisces, what's going on? So you have the Queen of Cups, the Ten of Swords, and then you Pisces also have the King of Pentacles. So what's going on for you? What's going on for you Pisces is that what's there it is. So what's going on for you Pisces right now is okay, interesting. So the Queen of Cups, Ten of Swords, and the King of Pentacles just speaks to how clever, intelligent a lot of you Pisces really are. You're not necessarily given credit for. A lot of you Pisces are learning that once again, right? Like you have respect for yourselves, you know, you do. And like a lot of you Pisces are probably like, well, yeah, but you didn't realize, some of you Pisces didn't necessarily understand or realize just how much self-respect you actually had. Um, you know, not so much, not to the point where it becomes delusional, because we still want to keep it to where it's actually confidence and self-respect and not delusion, right? But you never knew how much you respected yourselves. A lot of you Pisces, like I said, you looked at relationships like were a work in progress, and that you had to sacrifice a little bit of yourself in order for you to get yourself into a healthy relationship. And come to find out, what's happening here is that what really goes on in a functional relationship is both people, right, or whoever is involved, needs to actually state their wants and their needs, right, to the other person. They need to actually state it aloud. They need to have this discussion, and then both sides actually need to do this, and both sides actually need to address those wants and needs accordingly. And that's part of what creates a healthy relationship. And so a lot of the times you Pisces are realizing that it never even gets that far with you Pisces, because the person is just doing goofy stuff. They're speaking to you, then they're speaking to another. So it doesn't even get to the point where, you know, this is why this is a lot of the times people be knowing that you're a good person, especially if you treat them well or you're treating them well, right? And they may suspect that you are a decent person, but they never actually stop to take the time to understand how good a lot of you Pisces are, and they never stop to take the time how good they had it, because they're thinking too fast. And then not only that, but they're also dysfunctional. So they're running around and doing goofy stuff, right? Stuff that that is really uncalled for, because they've never really taken the time to actually sit down with you and talk to you. And so because of that, you ironically, right? It sounds ironic. It sounds like it doesn't make any sense, but it actually does. That's the reason why it is that you Pisces are so confident. It's not arrogance. We're not talking about you Pisces running around and deluding yourselves of how great you are. It's the confidence to know, again, wisdom. What is wisdom? Experience and knowledge and experience, right? Study and practice. That's what wisdom is. What is studying? Listening, learning, doing the research, reading a book, letting people talk to you about the game. What is practice? Actually going out and experiencing it. And that's what wisdom is, study and practice. So the situation with that is you Pisces are confident because you know you give love. You know you've made it through the worst times where people have done some of the most disrespectful things to you. And so because of that, a lot of you Pisces know that you're prepared for that, because you've gone through that already. If a person disrespects you before, you may have been upset. You may have cried about it. Depending on who you are, you Pisces may have felt real down about it. But now it's this sense of, you Pisces don't do that because study and practice. You're prepared. You know what to do. You just leave them alone. And you know why you need to leave them alone. You leave them alone because they've got their own problems that they're being haunted by that they have to overcome. They're dysfunctional. So to even sit back and think you really want validation from a dysfunctional person that badly, you know what I'm saying? And the thing is, you Pisces know this. You understand this now. So the Lovers in the World card represent how, so you love yourself. You Pisces love yourself. You know, you have love for yourself is what I'm saying. You love yourself. You know, you have self-respect. It's not like you Pisces were the way that you were 10 years ago, 5 years ago, 6 years ago, whatever. You Pisces have a lot of love for yourselves. And the way that you're carrying yourselves, it shows that you Pisces actually have a lot of love for yourself. And then the thing is that the Ace of Pentacles and the Three of Pentacles right here speaks to how, again, you're going to continue to search, but a person better show you some respect. You know, they better actually listen to the wants and the needs that you have and actually address those, because that's what you Pisces are going to do. You're expected to do that. And then you Pisces will actually do it. You Pisces will actually show a person what they say that they want and they need. Sometimes people will tell you what they want, they need, and then they'll still do something else, and they'll be like, oh, well, I never agreed to doing that for you. You know, I don't owe you anything. You know, these are the excuses that people will use. And so at the end of the day, the Ace of Pentacles and the Three of Pentacles, you know that you can count on yourselves. And that right there gives you the most comforting feeling in the world. You know, you Pisces know that you can count on yourselves. You know that you can pretty much handle your business and get done whatever it is that you need to get done, because you've already done it already. You know, regardless of whether or not you Pisces may have doubts or whatever, the fact of the matter is, more than likely, you Pisces have already done it. You've already experienced difficulty. And so, you know, even with this person that just may have recently came by, it didn't work. You know, it didn't work because they were trying to run game on you and it didn't work. Try as they might, it's not going to work. Why? Because they all run the same game. It never changes. They may mix the games together, but it never actually changes because there's only 101. No more new manipulative relationships can be created. It's only 101. This is why, you know, Robert Greene talked about the 48 laws of power, because there's no higher than 101 manipulative antics. There's no higher than that. The rest of it is just about mixing and matching the 101 different tactics together in combinations with one another. But 102 and moving forward, there's no such thing. There's only been 101 manipulative tactics that's ever been done throughout the history of the planet Earth. There's no more that could be created. You know, and this is why it is that I keep saying that at the end of the day, manipulative tactics and stuff like this, eventually they all will end, because a person can't live their life like that. This is how you ruin your life. You see, and so the situation is that the Six of Wands, the Six of Swords, 2 6 cards back to back, and then the King of Wands. This is why you Pisces live such peaceful lives right now, and will continue to live a peaceful life, because you don't have to worry about trying to manipulate other people, because that's not something that you Pisces be out here doing. You know, think about every lie that you done went ahead and came up with, and then you got to cover your tracks, and then you have to constantly, like, that type of stuff. This is what I'm trying to get you Pisces to understand. That's exhausting. You think dealing with them is exhausting? Them being that way is exhausting. That's why That's why it's so goofy when it happens, because the person, because no one does more work than the person who's trying to run game. Not even the person who's running counter game has to work that hard, because the person who is initiating and is perpetuating the game, they have to be the one to come up to you, Pisces, maybe say a couple of lies, remember the lies that they made. They have to go through the, let's just say they lied about having a big house. They have to go to an Airbnb, book the Airbnb, pay actual money for the Airbnb. Why? To impress you? Then every time, you know, every time that you want to come over to their place or whatever, they got to constantly reorder the same exact Airbnb. Now they got to go ahead and also explain the changes that may have happened in the Airbnb, if there's any changes. What about if the Airbnb, a specific one that they're fronting like it's their house, let's just say if that Airbnb is booked, what do? Right? Now they got to come up with something clever about how, oh, their place is being renovated and all this stuff, or they're not renovated, but like, oh, their place is being like, bug sprayed or whatever for rodents and all this stuff, and they having some sort of construction done on the place. Like, you dig what I'm saying? That's a lot of work. That's a lot of work. Than to just keep it real and be like, yeah, we cool. So a lot of you Pisces are in a very good disposition, because y'all don't have to worry about not being yourselves. Other people do. So let's clarify the King of Wands. The Strength, the Judgment, Ace of Pentacles, Empress, and then the Page of Pentacles. Like I said, you don't have to worry about what other people got. Good luck on their journey. God bless while they're on their journey, but you don't care about them. God bless them on their journey, but you don't care about what they got going on. You don't care about what it is that they got going on. The Strength card shows that. And then the Judgment and the Ace of Pentacles, it doesn't matter about their opinions. It's like, so, because you Pisces have become invincible. You've become indestructible. You know what it means metaphysically when they say that you become indestructible? Indestructible from people's insults and innuendos and hogwash that they talk about you, allowing that goofy nonsense to affect you and bring you down and make you feel a certain kind of way. Nah, you Pisces are like, nah, I'm not gonna get small. You Pisces get it. You're not gonna get small in the situation. You're gonna get bigger. You're gonna make it feel like there's no room in you. You're gonna make it when. That's why you Pisces are on point, because you Pisces are making it so that if y'all are in a room and the person is trying to make you shrink and get smaller, you Pisces are going to get bigger. You're going to become so big spiritually to the point where you are the one that takes up the vast majority of the room, and they got to squeeze into the corners tightly and compact as they possibly can. For trying to make you Pisces feel small. And how you're going to do that is not being uncomfortable. Still being loose, light and loose on your feet. Not allowing, individuals to talk all types of stuff, because you Pisces know what type of time it is. You know that you've been putting in good work for yourself and other people and your loved ones. But the reason why, like I said, a lot of people can't take it is because you Pisces are not taking that hogwash that a lot of people trying to give to you. Because people will try to give a Pisces a lot of hogwash until the Pisces is like, nah, y'all full of it. That's pretty much it. Comment on the video, like the video, subscribe to the YouTube channel. Peace.